Citra Silly Point. I'm Citra. We are 3 weeks away from the T20 World Cup, and before I get into the specifics of the BCB versus the ICC situation, I want to shed some light on the ICC chairman, Shah, and the chaos cricket has been in since he took office. I mean, he became the chairman during the Champions Trophy debate, and I think he fails to remember, more often than not, whether deliberate or otherwise, that he is no longer the chairman of the BCC, but of an international governing body that overlooks strategic interests of cricket in all the countries, including India, but not just of India. And yes, the country with the most eyeballs and the most revenue generating is India, but there has been a huge rise in performative politics and politics governing ICC events blatantly in plain sight since he's taken office. Not saying this didn't happen before, but I think Shah suited the BCCI where, with the help of his political ties, he was able to achieve big things, but that mindset carrying over to the ICC has just turned cricket into a big spectacle. I mean, one after another, every ICC event or a major tournament is now threatened with political interference, with political theatrics, political exchanges, and decisions driven solely by politics. To think the BCB is having a knee-jerk reaction would be unfair because just a few months ago during the Asia Cup, the Indian captain Suryakumar Yadav refused to shake hands at the toss with Pakistani captain Salman Ali Agha, as if somehow any political unrest between the two countries was because of Salman or the Pakistani players, or that by not shaking hands, it brought peace or justice to those impacted. I mean, as kids, we were pushed to be in sports, to play sports, because it creates camaraderie and long-lasting relationships. What's transpiring now in the world of cricket is the complete opposite. Going back to my point on the ICC chairman, Shah, have you seen him attend a match where India wasn't playing? Yeah, you may say. You may say the World Test Championship final between Australia and South Africa. But then did you see the video or the reel released? I mean, he would basically behave like a social media influencer or content creator, showcasing himself in pretty much 90% of the video, with barely showing the players, Australian or South Africans, who made history and won the Test Championship final. And it was a collaboration post, so you can say he didn't know what was in the video. You should check it out if you haven't already. It's on the ICC social media page. You probably have to scroll down to get to it. I haven't seen Shah attend a match between associate nations. And if I'm wrong, please correct me, but he's never visited a match played, let's say, by Canada. I didn't see him in the US since the existing board was ousted due to corruption when ICC is the governing body. I've never seen him sit through a match in a bilateral series involving nations other than India. But here he was, casually hanging out in the first ODI between India and New Zealand just a few days ago. And before you say that he lives in India or that these are just ceremonial visits in nature, they're not good enough excuses. My question is, what has he done in his tenure to help address the political concerns? If anything, political involvement has grown immensely from all sorts. We saw the Champions Trophy fiasco where India refused to travel to Pakistan yet again, when everyone and their cousin in the cricketing world have already traveled to Pakistan for bilateral series or the Champions Trophy itself. And in that event, we saw players from different nations complaining of unfair travel advantages for India, who didn't even drive to another stadium in the UAE. I mean, it was one stadium that they played at. Shah himself skipped the curtain raiser event for Champions Trophy, for the tournament, for the Champions Trophy in Lahore in Pakistan. And you were the ICC chairman. Then came the debacle and a complete display of politics during the Asia Cup, starting with the Indian T20 captain, Suryakumar Yadav, and then the Indian team refusing to shake hands with the Pakistani captain and the players, followed by a completely politically driven post-match conference speech by Suryakumar. Then the gestures displayed by both Pakistani and Indian players during the matches. Even though the players were reprimanded, it didn't end there. I mean, the Indian captain and the team refused to collect the trophy from Mohsin Naqvi, who's the ACC president. I mean, what kind of Desi drama am I witnessing here? And how many episodes will this go on for? The BCCI has used the safety concern excuse for years and years against Pakistan. What makes it different if Bangladesh uses the same reason, the very same excuse to not travel to India? Especially when the BCCI directed the IPL team owner to release Mustafizur on the very basis of safety concerns. Seems like a simple case of apples versus apples here. And again, I understand it is difficult to ship the matches to Sri Lanka or another place in the world, but wasn't it the BCCI who always relentlessly pushed the idea that their government has advised them not to travel to Pakistan due to safety concerns? And this is used over and over again to consistently deny playing in Pakistan. Isn't this why Pakistani players are also not part of the IPL? I mean, again, not talking about the financial, the administrative, and logistical concerns of shifting matches during the World Cup, but what makes it okay for India to use the excuse and not for Bangladesh or not for Pakistan or for any other nation in the future? Before someone says Bikaristan or Kangladesh or Kangladesh in the comments to me, the very letter Bangladesh received from the ICC, or an independent body assessing safety concerns for the ICC that the Bangladeshi minister brought forward, quite literally stated that if Bangladesh were to travel to India, they shouldn't include Mustafizur Rahman in their squad. What? The letter also stated if matches were held in India, then the Bangladeshi fans cannot wear Bangladeshi team shirts when attending the matches. What? And to top it off, it stated that there are going to be safety concerns if Bangladesh holds their elections during the World Cup. I mean, how much more political can this get? Whether this correspondence was supposed to become public or not, the fact of the matter is, it is all politics and nothing has been done to alleviate it. In time of making this video though, Bangladesh has apparently been given 2 days, well now a day, left to rethink if they still want to travel to India for the World Cup, even though from the looks of it, they seem quite firm on their stance of not traveling to India. But how easily would a test playing nation be replaced with another country in the tournament? What would this do in the long term in building relationships and serving the sport? What does it say about the ICC in standing true to its principles? And what does it say about the ICC accommodating for the higher revenue generating nations versus those that are lesser? What does it say about the ICC being a governing body for all nations involved in cricket? I mean, you have what, 12 test playing nations in total, out of which 4 cannot stand each other? How can Shah and the ICC think about bringing cricket to a global event like the Olympics when they cannot resolve matters with their neighboring countries? As I said before, players around the world have raised concerns over travel after the Champions Trophy. I think it was Sri Lankan and I think South African players, I could be wrong, that raised concerns regarding travel fatigue. We've heard English commentators raising concerns and asking for neutral venues for these tournaments. A West Indian player recently also highlighted it isn't right to have certain players not be allowed to play for certain teams. I mean, you have the Women's T20 World Cup later this year, and then the ODI World Cup and Asia Cup next year. Where are we headed? What Shah and the ICC plan to do that is fair to all cricketing nations, regardless of the revenue it generates? What will they do to protect the game of cricket and not let it be corrupted at the hands of politics? I mean, in a perfect world, you would like to think Shah, the BCCI, and the ICC would set an example of bringing the subcontinental nations together in the game they all love. You would like to think Shah would put his BCCI experience to good use in understanding the pain points and issues in the subcontinent. You would think Shah would understand the intricacies of politics and its involvement, both good and bad, and perhaps act like a big brother and be a beacon of light rather than creating further divides between nations. But then that would be a perfect world, and this isn't. And unfortunately, this is a world that is seeing boards frustrated out of their minds with BCC's control with BCCI's control over cricket. It is a world where, give or take, for 3 months prior to every cricket tournament, there's back and forth on where India will play and where Pakistan will play. But there will definitely be a Pakistan versus India match up front within the first week of the tournament, even if the two nations are shaking hands. And now we will also have to wait to see where Bangladesh will play. I mean, it is a world where fans are left confused as to whether they should even be buying tickets and making travel arrangements if they're traveling from different parts of the world. And we're what, 3 weeks away from the tournament. It is a world where watching the first ODI of a bilateral series between India and New Zealand is more important for the ICC chairman than working to build relationships with neighboring countries. So as fans, we shall wait. We shall wait to see how the saga between the BCB and the ICC unfolds. And until then, please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.